What's poppin' with y'all, man? This Red Rum back with another video. Pretty much the T Wolves trying to take on the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets, they got squad, low key. They just got to figure some things out, and they got to keep that man Jamal Murray healthy. When he's healthy and he in the playoffs, he's a whole different animal. But as far as the T Wolves in this gameplay, it was going stupid. I'm gonna have to say that man, Edwards, that man was going retarded. Him and that man Cat, they was going back to back on who could score more. They was in competition with themselves. They wasn't competition with the Nuggets. It was like, well, we just about to show out and do whatever. But Edwards, he was damn near looking like his ass was in the dunk contest in this damn gameplay. But I'm going to go ahead and, speak on something different today. Other than, what I'm saying, hood niggas going bad and looking horrible in these streets, looking gameless and nameless in these streets. But I'm going to talk about my first time off of edible, fam. Alright, I'm going to set the mood. This was back when I was in high school. I think this was, damn, when was this? I think this was junior year. I want to say either junior year or senior year. So, my boy, I'm going to name him KP, but that's what he go by. But, his name is KP. We went to school in this charter school in the Bay Area. It's one of the first charter schools in the Bay Area. I hated that school. Just, it was small, so everybody knew everybody's business. But, it is what it is on that. But, it was certain joints that was up in there, you know what I'm saying? Certain little joints that was solid. I was gameless and nameless at that time myself, but all I was worried about at that time was just shit, making good grades and drove pretty much and hanging out with the homies. That's what I was thinking about. But, I had good times up there, good times. And this is one of the good times. So, my man KP, he knew that your boy was, what I'm saying? He was off the 420, you know what I'm saying? Like, I participated in them activities, So, what happened was, excuse me on that, but, so what happened was, you know, it was sixth period, you know what I'm saying? No, actually, no, it started, when it started? No, he was talking about, oh yeah, you off them treats, you know what I'm saying? You be off them treats? So I'm like, yeah, I'll be off them treats, but I really didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So, I don't know how he got a hold of like a pie at this time. I don't know how the hell he got a hold of this pie. Because, I mean, at the time, before, like, because now, I mean, you could walk in any dispensary, go get you a little edible or get you any, you know what I'm saying, any dro of choice. We call it dro. We call it, dro, gas, whatever. But, you can get the gas or whatever you need at the dispensaries, you know what I'm saying? All you gotta have is a California ID. This is back then before all that was legal. So you had to have you had to have a medical card. So if you had a medical card, you was winning pretty much. You was getting all the gas, all that shit. You wasn't getting all that, you know what I'm saying, you wasn't getting all that street gas, which at the time, cookies wasn't that popping. Cookies wasn't that popping. This was when pretty much Purple was pretty much on its last phases. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was off that Purple. Everybody. So, but my man got a hold of edible pie somehow. So he told me, hey, you want to hit some of this pie? And this was at lunchtime. And I'm like, all right, man, like, you know what I'm saying? So he showed me the pie. I had like, what, half of it? Probably like half of it. So Nothing happened, after after lunch or whatever, you know. I'm like, cool. So I'm cooling or whatever. I'm thinking it's a regular pie. It's just a regular pie. He just shared with me just some regular pie. So I'm eating it or whatever, you know. And then I go to my next class. My next class, I was cool. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing. But as soon as I hit my sixth period, which I had free. I was supposed to go to College Summit at the time, but I was like, nah, I'm not fucking with no damn College Summit. I really wasn't even interested in that shit. That shit was ass. So I never went. So I always went to this one. I always went to this one room where pretty much you was able to go ahead and go do homework and whatnot. So it hit me right when I was in the middle of doing homework, fam. Right in the middle. So I'm like, why do I feel funny? And I'm like, I didn't smoke, I didn't do shit. So I'm like, oh damn. So I'm paranoid as hell. Like, damn, I'm about to be in hell of trouble. So I'm trying to play it all cool and shit. Do as much homework as I can. But it's almost the end of the day, so I'm pretty much cooling. So at this point, you know, I'm trying to play it cool. I'm trying to get done with all my homework, and that was pretty much like my next period was not even a real period. It was like a time where all the students pretty much gathered within I forgot what you call that shit. I guess the main area, but the lunchroom. So, and our lunchroom was pretty big, but that we called it study hall. So, I mean, you could technically go home, but I mean, if you skip that class, they said you pretty much you skipped. You know what I'm saying? They call your parents. So that shit was so ass. I mean, but it helped out a lot because when I got home, I didn't have to really do as much homework, or I didn't have to do any. And this was one of the times where I didn't have any, which was so sweet for me. But, I messed around, trying to play it cool. I wasn't trying to look at nobody. Because, when you off the gas, family, especially when you at somewhere, you know what I'm saying, like at work or at school or something like that, you ain't trying to make contact with nobody. Because you like, damn, I'm smacked. I ain't trying to have them look at me and shit. So, I'm smacked up or whatever, doing my homework. Finally, it's done. You know what I'm saying? I made it through. All I have to do now is one more obstacle. Make sure the Mama Dukes don't know. So, pretty much, she end up, you know what I'm saying? I end up, if I mess around and get up in the car and, man's is just smacked up, usually I just act like I had a long day and I'm tired. So I act like I nodded off and went to sleep, you know what I'm saying? Because my mom, she loved to have conversations and shit. Just, how, they just keep going and going and going. So I'm like, let me just kind of entertain it for a little bit and then like nod off to sleep. So I nodded off to sleep. I'm still smacked up as I came home. So I'm like, what, 30 minutes away? So the location of the school was in Berkeley. But shout out to those that went to that school. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to name the location, but that charter school was fake way lit. It was fake way lit. It was, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the stuff that went on in the game that I know now, I mean, if I knew what I know now and used it back then, I'm telling you, I would have been a beast. But you live and you learn. But, so I came home, and I ain't gonna lie, your boys freezers was popping back then. They kind of popping now, but not as much as now. I mean, not as much as back then. Back then, like, I used to have everything, like cookies, candy, all that, you know what I mean? Just hella shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like chimichangas on deck, you know, all the Costco, you know what I'm saying? All the good Costco food, you feel me? That you could warm up, chicken bakes, you know what I'm saying? Had, so my freezer was popping at the time. And, you know, my mom's, you know, she wasn't cooking, so I was like, all right, so I'm about to just finesse all this food that I got up in here. And this was a time where I was by myself. So I had the room and all this shit to the neck. So what happened was I warmed up all that food, washed up, you know what I'm saying? Washed up, was, you know, I had all my homework did, so I was chilling. And unfortunately, I couldn't play the game. I had this rule where, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't play the game towards the weekend. Once it was the weekend, you know, it was on and popping. I could play anything all day. It didn't matter. But now, I mean, shit, niggas are grown, so I play it whenever. But, you know, my little tolerance for the video game is kind of slim now. You know what I mean? I can't really play the game like that. Like, I used to be on that joint for like, shit, damn that 8 hours tops. Now I could probably do a good like hour and a half. And then after that, I'm like, all right, I'm good on playing the game. But that's besides the point. Um, you know, this is where the funny shit happened. So at the time, you know what I'm saying, 2.5 Men was my show. That was my show at the time. So, you know, your boy was off the gas, you know what I'm saying, trying to enjoy my time, you know what I'm saying, and eating all that good food or whatever. And why I catch the itis? So I'm at the foot of my bed, pretty much. I'm at the foot of my bed, you know what I'm saying? So I, you know, just after I ate all my food, just lightly, just gently, just lay down and rest my eyes. Because, you know, when it's the commercials, you know, it's like, okay, well, when I just wake up when when the commercials come back. Oh, I mean, when the commercials is off. This was like before, you know, technology. Now you could just skip all the damn commercials and all that shit and fast forward and all that other shit now. But, you know, so I gently fall asleep. And my ass did not wake up. I didn't cover myself, nothing like that. I just laid down. Fam, I didn't wake up until school. I didn't wake up until the next morning. I woke up, I'm like, wait, what time is it? And then I woke up, I was like, oh, damn, it's time for me to go to school. So I took an L on that. And, you know, it was funny because it was just like I did not expect that pie to hit me like that. Not only did I not expect the pie to hit me like that, the itis was a motherfucker, man. I'm telling you, the itis is something else, family. Like, it was over. Like, I didn't wake up, nothing. I was like in a deep sleep. I was like, damn. Usually when I'm, you know, smacked up, whatever, I usually at least listening to some music, you know what I'm saying, or at least listen to some Chopped and Screwed. I like listening to Chopped and Screwed when a man smacks up, but you know, they call that, what's his name now? They call it slowed and reverbed and shit. I don't like that. But, you know, I still listen to it sometime. But, you know, I kind of got shied away from the gas like that. But, you know, it was just a little funny story I wanted to go ahead and share with y'all. Cause, you know, I seen this gameplay. I think I was playing yesterday. This was yesterday's gameplay. So this is fresh off the press. And I seen, you know what I'm saying, when you really look at their jerseys, the jerseys that I got on right now, when you pay attention to them, they got little trees on them. That kind of reminded me of, you know, this story. That's why I had to bring it up. But, you know, I'm going to let y'all enjoy this gameplay, and y'all be smooth, man. Red Rum out. Peace, man.